This is GEMath 1, Mathematics in our Modern World, Lesson 1.1. Topic, Mathematics in our World. So let me share with you this PowerPoint presentation that talks about this topic. Mathematics is not all about numbers. It is more about reasoning, making logical inferences, and generalization, and seeking relationship in both visible and the invisible patterns in the natural world. So if you have hard time in solving numerical problems, don't worry. It is not all about numbers. David Hilbert actually is the mind behind the axiomatic treatment of geometry. And believe it or not, he has a dyscalculia. It is a severe difficulty in making arithmetical calculations as a result of brain disorder. When I was in college, actually, I had a hard time solving mathematical problem because it's quite hard to memorize the tables and all other values. But my teacher once said that is why the calculator was invented for people like us. So guys, math is not just about numbers. So there are patterns. And why is looking at patterns important? I'll invite you to watch this video presentation by Roger Antonsen, and it is found in our video link. And also these questions will be posted for our activity for this lesson, and you would be asked to write an essay about the video using these 4 questions. So let's move on. Patterns are actually regular, repeated, or recurring forms of design. So we've given patterns here. This one, the geometric one, and the colored one, and of course, a succulent. So patterns could either be numeric or geometric. As you can see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18 is a pattern. 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, and 10 is also a pattern. 2, 2, 6, 6, 8, 8 is a pattern. In the first pattern, it is the multiple of 3. On the second pattern is the first value minus 2. On the last pattern, it's the repetition of the first value, 2, 2, 6, 6, 8, 8. So this one is a geometric pattern. And we could see here the multiple representation of a shape. In mathematics, patterns could be in the form of structures, changes, random patterns and shape or fractals, and occurrences or chaos. Patterns in structures are the following. So you could see this on buildings and other structures around us. Patterns and changes represents more of a sequences in which there's a change happening between the first item to the second, the third, to the fourth. On the patterns of shapes, actually, it refers to the beauty we see in the repetitive occurrence of shapes. Also, there are patterns in occurrence or chaos in which actually there's no specific formula to solve the next value or the next figure on the pattern. Some patterns, as we could see, are this one, 30, 28, 31, 30, 31, 30, 31, 31, 30, 31, 30, and 31 is actually the pattern of the Gregorian calendar. The heartbeat actually has also a pattern, 0, 3, 8, 15, 24. It's n squared minus 1. So the next value would be, this is 0 squared, 1 squared minus 1, 2 squared minus 1, the 3 is 2 squared minus 1, 8 is 3 squared minus 1, 15 is 4 squared minus 1, 24 is 5 squared minus 1, so this must be 6 squared minus 1, which is 35. So let's try to solve the following exercises. In the first one, we see 1, 10, 7, 20, 13, 30, and 19. We could see that the first value, if you add 6, then it's going to be 7. On The second value, if you add 10, that's 20. 7 plus 6, that's 13. 20 plus 10, that's 30. 13 plus 6, that's 19. So 30 plus 10 must be 40. And 19 plus 6 must be 31. So, or rather, 19 plus 6 would be 25. So the answer is letter C, 40 and 25. In the next pattern in exercise 31, we see 10, 20, 25, 35, 40, 50, and 55. It's just adding 5, then 10. 10 plus 10, that's 20, plus 5, that's 25, plus 10, that's 35, plus 5, that's 40, plus 10, that's 50, plus 10, plus 5, that's 55. So the next value would be plus 10, which is, the value is plus 10, 55 plus 10 is 65, plus 5, 70, which is letter E. In exercise 36, it's 9, 16, 23, 30, 37, 44, and 51. So we could see that it's just a pattern with adding 7 on the previous value. So 9 plus 7 is 16, plus 7 is 23, plus 7 is 30, plus 7 is 37, plus 7 is 44, plus 7 is 51. So we get the next value is 51 plus 7, which is 58, plus 7, which is 65. So the answer is D. In exercise 37, we see that it's 8, 22, 12, 16, 22, 20, and 24. It seems that 22 had wrong relation on the other value, but if we see it as a whole and changing our perspective, we realize that every two values, there's the appearance of 22. And the relationship of 8 and 12 and 16 is just adding 4 to the previous value. So it's 8 plus 4, 12, plus 4, 16, plus 4, 20, plus 4, 22. And since, 24 rather, and since 24 is the second value from 20, then it must be 22. And another plus 4 from 24, it's 28. So it's 22, 28, letter C. Next are patterns regarding shapes and figures. So the first one is arrows, number 88. It points to the right, then it points up and down, then it points to the right and points up and down. So more likely, the next pattern would be those who are pointing to the right, letter B. In number 89, we could see that it's changing shapes, and the shaded shape is transferring from left to right. So it circles with the rightmost shape is rather shaded. The second shape or shapes are triangles with the leftmost shaded. When we see the next shapes, we see square as its first term of the succeeding shapes. So we could deduce that the remaining two shapes must be square. So it's either A or B or D. But we know that the middle part is the big one or the bigger one. So it's either A or B. But now we realize that the shaded area should be present. So it's B. The final answer is B. I hope you try to solve the problems from exercise 90, 94, 95, and 96 to shape your minds as we move onwards to our next lesson. So this is lesson 1.1.